Hello everyone, Anthony from Osme Games here, and we're gonna really quick go through some of the abilities that are on the component cards in Super Ultra Radical Stickman Supreme. Now, for the game, you basically build your Stickman and then use up your actions per turn in order to help yourself or hinder your opponents in order to be victorious in the end. So, you start with a base Stickman that looks like this. And the base Stickman actually has the 5 abilities you'll require in order to play the game. You can discard the remaining assembly line and replace it once per turn. That's basically taking a mulligan on your draw. You can gain a component from the assembly line, getting new cards. You can generate a charge, that is for any of your cards that need charges. You can get additional ones. You can gain a supremacy token, which is basically bonus points. And then you can defend against attacks. Of the abilities that are on cards, this is the symbol that indicates that there are 4 different kinds of abilities, and we'll get into that here. Just wanted to show you some samples of some of the cards so that you have a little bit better of an idea what SURSS is all about, really. So on the card itself, it has the card art, has the name of the card, has an icon indicating what type of ability it is, has the card text which describes the ability. On the bottom of the scroll, it tells whether it's part of a set, if it is, which set, and then which component types are included in that set. So left arm, right arm, head, torso, legs. It has a blue exclamation point for the power of the card, a thumbs up for the radical rating of the card. If it is applicable, if the card has charges, there will be an indicator here and a number telling you how many charges are required to use that special ability. And then in red here it says 3.0. That's actually the scoring value of the card. The point of the game is to, in the end, if you want to win, have the highest scoring value on your active components for your Stickman, the Stickman you built, and then you add the amount of supremacy tokens that you have to that as basically bonus points. So the power is used for attacking and defending. The radical rating is used for a couple things here and there. It's kind of a few cards deal with it, but it does factor into the scoring value of the card. Charges are for powerful abilities that shouldn't be used every single turn. And then this red icon indicates that these top 3 cards are all attack ability types. So this one will force an opponent to discard 1 active component of their choosing. Basically, you're chopping off one of their limbs. The high heels here, they will steal 2 supremacy tokens from an opponent. They're losing actions. It takes actions to get supremacy tokens, so you're robbing them of their actions and their supremacy tokens and gaining them in the whole exchange. This one right here it forces all opponents to lose 2 charge tokens. So any cards they're charging that have powerful abilities, then you can make them actually lose some of their charges on those, so they can't use them as frequently. Down below that, these ones have a star as an icon that indicates it's a special ability. The attack abilities can be defended against. Special abilities cannot be defended against. All opponents must place 1 random active component in a pile on the table, shuffle the pile, and deal a random card to each opponent. You can gain 1 component that can attack from the discard pile. All players place their reserve cards in a pile in the playing area, shuffle the pile, and deal each player the amount of reserve cards they previously had. So it basically is just going to jumble everything up for all your opponents. We have a dice icon or a die icon on these 3 cards, and that indicates it's a game of chance ability. Game of chance abilities have a percentage in the card text that indicates what you have to roll on a 10-sided die in order for that to be successful. If you fail on your roll, then you will get to keep the charges on the card, but you will still lose the action it took for you to try the game of chance. This one is 20% chance that all opponents must discard 2 supremacy tokens, and you would gain 3 supremacy tokens. 20% chance to force all opponents to discard 1 active arm or legs component of their choosing, and it counts as an unavoidable attack. Unavoidable attacks are literally unavoidable. Nothing can stop them from hitting you. This trusty steed here has a 30% chance, allowing you to avoid a negative effect and redirect it to an opponent. Consumes 1 action from your next turn. This is an example of a defense card. You use it when you are being targeted. and then that's why you have action tokens partially, so that you can flip it over and indicate that you've already used up one of your actions for your next turn by defending. This one specifically says avoid a negative effect. That does not limit you to defending against an attack. That actually includes any negative effect that could hit you. This would be able to stop that, aside from an unavoidable attack, which is literally unavoidable. The bottom row here has this little cross symbol. These are passive abilities. Passive abilities don't cost actions, they're constantly affecting you. So one of them is cannot lose active components, but they can be disabled. It actually decreases your reserve capacity by 2 as a way of offsetting that. This one, you may have one additional active left arm and right arm components of power 1 or less. Those components don't count for scoring, but having 2 additional components on your Stickman, even if they only have 1 power or less, is really quite an advantage. This one has you makes you able to generate 1 charge when opponents generate charges. So whenever they use an ability that allows them to generate charges, then you will gain a charge as well. Super, super, super powerful when you're playing with more players. And then there are set bonus cards. So you'll put this next to your Stickman if you get the appropriate amount of pieces of that set to get the bonus. Set bonus cards have the set name. They have a quantity of set pieces required to get the stated bonus. They have scoring point value, power, and radical rating. And then below here, if they have charges for an active special ability, then it will indicate the charges here. Down in this corner here, it tells you which component type the pieces of the set are. So this one has a left arm, legs, and a right arm, and the specific card that is that component. So the left arm is a Gladius card, the legs are the Greaves, and the right arm is a Buckler. And then here's just a little icon representative of that set. So since these are not components, they can't be targeted by abilities that would target components. The only way to lose them is if you lose pieces of the set that give you the set bonus. Otherwise, you will get the bonus as if it is another card. So active abilities might have their own charges. Passive abilities, this one lets you generate 1 extra charge every turn. So at the beginning of each turn during the charge phase, rather than adding 1 to all of your components that have charges, you'll get 1 little bonus one you can throw in every single turn that doesn't cost an action. The Stick of Thieves set is a good example of some of the more unique set bonuses that are in the game. For this one, all of your Game of Chance probabilities are increased by 20%. So if we go up and look at our Game of Chance ones, that would bring this up to a 40% chance, 40% chance, 50% chance. Should also be noted that with Game of Chance abilities, you can discard supremacy tokens, and for each discarded supremacy token, you will get a plus 10% to your probability. That should give you a little taste until we get a gameplay video up, but there's really a wide variety of different abilities, and the different ability types add a lot of flavor. So there's seemingly endless ways to make your Stickman, including the set bonuses. So you can really have a lot of different kinds of builds. So I hope that's helpful. Thanks.